give you a little update on the flat towable Jeep and what the kind of an issue that we had. When we took this in, they put a constant power, in essence, a charge line from the RV to the car. The problem is they didn't have the RV and they didn't even have the umbilical cord. All they had was the Jeep. And so what they did is they put it in where it probably would make the most sense, the charge line that goes up through here into the actual power that charges the battery. The problem is where they put it on in the actual harness was not the same place that it's in the RV. So we were able to do a power check here, just a regular, looks like a screwdriver, and just get a ground. It's right here. Let's see if I can find it for you. Right here. We just did a little test using this, and you could see when you turn the power on to the coach where the actual constant power is. There's actually a diagram on there that tells you that. And then we took it to the umbilical cord, made sure it's the same place, and it was. So obviously the problem was here. So we took this apart and looked at where that hole is compared to here, and there was nothing in it. What they had done, they put the constant in the middle, which actually to me makes sense. It's just because they didn't have the coach, they didn't know that. So they put it in the wrong hole. So we looked at the hole that should go in, it was empty. We replugged that into that slot, and it worked perfectly. Hooked it up here. We went ahead and took this wire off. That's what's coming from the harness to charge line the battery. We took that off, put a load on the Jeep, turned the lights on, and then with the power on the coach, and we were able to see that it dropped after the load, but then you could see it start steadily. We used this to be able to start to see that it could steadily increase the battery, and that let us know that it was working. So you may find that our sign that something was wrong is exactly like they say, that after 3 hours of driving this without charging the battery, we'd get somewhere and the battery would be dead. And so we knew that the charge line that we paid for wasn't working. So today we were able to fix that charge line, and we hope that that's fixed it. So if you're having that problem whereby your battery's dying on your Jeep or whatever vehicle that you're flat towing after a certain amount of time, you may want to check your harness on your rig through your umbilical cord into your harness on your vehicle. So that's what we did. It seems like it's working. Thumbs up. So I wanted to make this video about updates now that we've had this rig for coming on 2 years. There are some things that I've learned along the way that I thought might be a good tip. Number one is when you're somewhere where there's foliage on top of you, get a lot of leaves and sticks and these little berries like that fall on here. It's a good idea before you go to your next journey to get you something and blow off all of the debris up here. I don't carry this with me. This is a friend of mine's. I'm using it to blow everything out. It especially gets caught, junk gets caught all in the rungs of the slide out. So it's good to blow all that out as well. But something that I know that is as far as continual maintenance is to make sure that you get your caulking, get up here and recaulk things, like once a year. Check on some of the maybe there might be cracks, and I noticed right here especially there's a couple of cracks that I need to fill in. But there's also this is a good place right here where there's paint that probably needs to be waxed on a yearly basis, just to keep the sun from destroying the clear coat. What you see a lot of rigs, they get that clear coat, the sun starts killing that, and you'll start seeing spots of clear coat removing. That can be very expensive. So it's usually good to do once a year, good maintenance. And before you go on a trip, just get up and do a debris check, a debris sweep, get on top, just not, I don't do it every trip, but especially when I park under a tree, before I leave, I'm gonna get up here. So tip number 2, look at this brand new baby born calf. You gotta get up, get to that milk. Come on, get up, yeah, get up. It's okay. Get her, mama. Get her up. Get up to feed. This is a beautiful thing. Usually what that calf will do is get up and start trying to find, see how she's nudging her, cleaning her and nudging her to get up, and she's got to get up and start feeding. And they'll usually even, like, they're somewhat blind right now. Don't leave her. Come on. She's still got birth coming out of her. Her job is to get that calf up and feeding. Trying to see if that calf is okay though. That other eye looks like it's bad. Oh, she's walking off and leaving it. I know. Come back here, mama. Come get her up. Good. Get her up. Come on, get up. She keeps trying to struggle to get up. She only has a few minutes. Or a few, not like a short, not a few minutes, a short window to get up and start. Oh, she looks like something's wrong with her. That other eye is, I can't really see it. There you go. Get up. Okay, so tip number 3, we're at the back of the coach now. There's normal things, normal just maintenance check. This is where you check your oil. There's a checking transmission. If you have a rig, you know that you don't check the transmission unless you're running. But there's your oil fill. Here's where you can be able to tell your antifreeze level. It's perfect. But this little thing right here is an interesting little gadget. It tells you how blocked or free your filter, your air filter is. And so there's disagreements on where to change it at. I just changed mine about 3,000 miles ago while we were in Colorado. I had a video for that. I'll post it up top. It was right up to about 3/4. Some people say you don't need to do it till it's full. Till it's all the way up. There's a little plunger that goes all the way up. I'm gonna tell you that at 3/4, and we took that filter off, it was bad. It was really dirty and really blocked. So I would say if it's 3/4, go ahead and change it. This little doodad here, you wonder what that is. That's for maintenance, Freightliner, or repair side, guys that come out. If they have Cummins computers, they can plug right up in here and be able to see what codes are being thrown, what's wrong, what the temperature of the motor is while it's running. And unfortunately, I know that because we broke down in Douglas, Arizona. We threw the dreaded red light, and we were down to 5 miles per hour and had to have a guy come out, and thankfully he had a Cummins computer, which is not all guys have. So you have to make sure that they're set up with the Cummins computer and Cummins training. Most all motorhomes these days, moderns, are Cummins. Matter of fact, I don't know that any of them are anything but anymore. So you got to make sure that your roadside assistant or your diesel mechanic has that ability, because otherwise they're just shooting in the dark. That's a big deal. And then obviously your radiator, just keeping it clean and keeping it all to your stuff. And so that's something I do before I go on trips, but it's also something I do periodically. I check the oil when I fuel up. So just tip number 3. There you go.